Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. My name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Okay. So, before I sat down to record, oh, interesting. Okay. I was actually, okay. I think I know what this message is going to be about already. All right, so there's a focus on health right now. So I'm going to share with you a few things that I do, and I'm not offering medical advice. Check with a medical professional before changing your um, supplements or whatever. Make sure I get the legal disclaimer out here. Yes, not offering medical advice. I'm simply sharing with you what I do that works for me. And then anything else we talk about here is more energetic or spiritual. So there's three things that I'm being guided to share with you. I'm not sponsored or affiliated with them in any way. Um, there's a yet there, but this is just what I do that really works. So one, I take complement multivitamins. These ones are supreme. I've taken many multivitamins over the years, and these ones, they're really good, especially if you're plant-based. But even if you're not, because there's this narrative that people who are plant-based are nutrient deficient, but people who eat meat aren't. And that's just not true. Most humans on the planet right now are nutrient deficient because it's by design, but that's that's a story for a different day. Um, so those ones actually are the only multivitamins I've ever noticed a difference when I like run out and I don't take them for a few days. I can physically notice a difference. Um, so they're really, really good. I also do hydrogen. It's H2. They're water tablets. So you drop it in like 8 ounces of water, let it dissolve, and then drink it. It adds extra hydrogen into the water. Hydrogen is without getting too into the chemistry of it, it helps free it helps your body reduce like free radicals and things like that, especially if you eat like fried foods or different things. Um it helps relieve that. It also helps with the oxidative process in the cells. Um but it is very, very helpful for the body. Um Again, I'm not offering medical advice. I'm just sharing with you what I do and what works for me. The other thing I do, which this one took some time to get used to, it's Baja Gold salt. It's a salt from Mexico, and it is, I think it's like over 90 trace minerals. And just because of our soil depletion and the stuff that is added in our skies and things of that nature, um, we're uh, given a lot of extra like toxic levels of heavy metals because of our environment. Um, and so these trace minerals really help with just cellular function and everything else. So that being said, because all of that came up and I've never shared that on this platform. So you could be really looking at different things to really help your physical body right now, especially if you're going through energetic upgrades. Giving your body extra support to help that shifting process is really helpful. And then when I went to split the deck to get into the cards, the bottom of the deck is door to value, and then I split it on cornucopia. And these are both wealth cards. And so what I heard is health is wealth. And so maybe you are in this phase of life where you're understanding the connection between health and wealth. So it's, yeah, there might be a big focus on it right now. Okay, let's see what else wants to come out for the collective. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support on the channel. The likes, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations all really do help out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. What? Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I was over here thinking we were just going to do health and wealth, and we're taking a turn already. All right, what's going on? Okay, we've got broken heart, and it came out on the door to value. And the thing is, too, is we manifest true abundance and like abundant financial freedom from the heart space. And so, if you're dealing with a lot of heart wounds, especially if you're still dealing with like a mother wound, our mother, and this isn't like putting blame or anything like that. It's just it's a generational thing, and this can affect your ability to manifest. So it's the relationship with receiving. Um and so it is in direct correlation with our ability to manifest abundance as well as love. It's a two-part thing. It's very multifaceted. But that could definitely be part of what you are working on clearing right now, so that I feel like you're not actually working on this for your finances. I feel like this is going to be a happy byproduct because of the correlation of it. So just know that as well, that there's more to healing the heart space than just romance or friendships. It's our relationship with money and finances and receiving and all of that. So there's definitely an element of that going on. What's interesting, I'm just now noticing how these cards kind of like came out, and then I just like move them randomly, and then sometimes there's, a deep meaning to it. So what we have on top of the cornucopia card, which is the manifestation card, it's also my dream timeline card. So this is where you're living the life of your dreams and it's a reality for you. What landed on top of that was caring, connections, and action. And this has been coming up quite a bit. So that was my little chuckle earlier of, yep, here we go. Love is in the air for sure. So this is a deep reciprocal romantic connection that you do have in your energy field. I don't feel like you have this in your actual physical reality right now, but it is something that's in your energetic field. So it's something that you have access to. And so for some of you, maybe this is going to be leveling up a current connection that you're already in. For others of you, this is a different person that you're not in a romantic connection with. And so it's just going to vary. And so with that, and my throat's doing a thing. So there is a need to communicate when it comes to this connection, whether that's deepening the connection, taking it to the next level, or whether it's communicating with somebody and, expressing deeper feelings or something like that that you're not in a relationship with. So it's just going to vary. But then we've got the action card. And with, it's if you're watching this when I post it, we're in Aries season. There's no planets retrograde. It's time for action. It's time to move. It's time to do the thing. So that is definitely in alignment with the energy. If you're watching this later and it's not right when I post it, then just know that that energy is prevalent in your reality and experience whenever you're watching this, because these are timeless messages. So um, there's definitely I would say a need to take action. I don't really like using that term because with free will and everything else, we don't really need to do anything. It's just highly recommended right now so that you can access this, dream reality. And again, this is going to look different for everybody. We all have different dreams. We all have different ideas of what a dream timeline would be, and it changes, depending on experience and new experiences and new revelations is what I just heard. So maybe you're having a revelation that this is indeed something that you deeply desire, is having a very harmonious connection romantically with somebody. And what the case is, you know who this person is. And if you haven't met this person in the physical, you energetically feel them. They're energetically in your energy field. It's kind of hard to put into words sometimes when we get more into like the quantum concept of it. But this is somebody that is in your orbit energetically. And you are in their orbit energetically. So this is something that you both are manifesting, whether it's completely conscious or not. This is something that you both do desire. And maybe it is taking it to the next level. So, whatever that is for you, moving in, um, you know, marriage, etc., etc. It's going to vary. So take that as it resonates. But I mean, you do have, the ultimate manifestation card out here. So you are at least partially focused on bringing in the reality of your dreams. And I feel like for this collective, this is something that's kind of newly, maybe not super new, but I'm like within the past 6 months, maybe a year, maybe a little longer, but it's kind of more relatively new on the grand scheme of things that you are really opening up to. And then when I went to say that, I heard opening back up to. So maybe you were a dreamer and a visionary and had all these ideas and all these things you wanted to do, and then you just kind of gotten to the point of, this is just life, this is just what it is for me, this is what I'm going to experience, it is what it is, I'll just make the best of it. And then something happened and I heard most likely a spiritual awakening, because that's that will absolutely change this. Then something happened where you realized, wait a minute, I'm here in this body once. So I'm going to make the best of it. And I do have the ability to manifest my dream reality. And that's what I want. And now it's time to take action on that. Um, okay. Now what else do we have? That's not reverse. Okay. Um, what the hell? Okay, we've got appreciation, and this is really talking about an attitude of gratitude. And this is, health is wealth, and also, embodying the attitude of gratitude on a regular basis. This is how you manifest, um, your dream reality, and also doing the inner work and the healing and releasing things like limiting beliefs and lack mentality and retraining the subconscious mind and checking the ego. And there's a lot that can kind of go into this, but it's all different modalities. For some of you, maybe you're going a more like therapy approach, something like that, where you're looking at some of these old wounds and patterns, and why do I show up this way in certain areas of my life, and how can I, change that and heal and show up differently, and, really have access to this dream reality. Um, which, give yourself a pat on the back. Not a lot of people don't do that. And that's where, when you bravely choose to do that and go within and look at the self and, do some shadow work and, heal some of these inner wounds and things like that, that is where you can really tap into like master manifester, instant manifestation, just living more of like a magical life. Whether it's literally like, you're doing spells and stuff or not. It's just about consciously creating your reality and understanding that you have that ability, and that's actually what you chose to came hold on. That's what you chose to come here to do. I just got anyways. Okay. Um so moving on. We've got patience and all tied up. So I feel like what this card is telling you is to be patient with yourself. Be patient with this process. Understand, let's say you're in, your 30s or your 40s or your 50s. Maybe you're in your 20s. Huzzah, if you are. Um, it took, it's like there's a lot of reprogramming that that has to take place before you fully access this like 5D conscience creator ability. We bounce in and out of it along the spiritual awakening journey, but it takes time, it takes practice, it takes consistency and determination and all of those things. So be patient with yourself. And also I'm getting that time urgency, and just know that that's more of an illusion. That's kind of part of the fear programming that we are taught, is like time's running out. You're too old for this. If you don't have this by this age, then you're not going to have it. And that's just simply not true. A lot of us on the spiritual journey now are actually breaking that mold and showing people like it doesn't matter how old you are in earth years, you can, completely change your life for the better at any time. It's just a matter of understanding that one, you have that ability, and two, it takes inner work. It's an inside out process. And that inside out process, when you're facing those inner demons, it's a it's a bitch. Like it's a process. So give yourself time and the patience and the space that is necessary to release some of these things, that it's like what has kept you in bondage, what has kept you stuck and trapped in a way of living that you just are over, like you're just done with it. I feel like this is a collective who is done with kind of the unconscious old way of doing things, and you're at this point now to where you're like, I know that I desire more. Maybe you don't know exactly what it is. Maybe you've got that inner fire that's calling you. That's that soul calling, that soul mission calling you to get in alignment, and you're just like, well, what is it? What does it look like? What does it have to look like? What am I supposed to be doing? That's ego. And I understand that completely. I did it for a very long time. And it's one of those things, as you continue to walk the path, it will be illuminated to you, because it's a two-part thing. One, it makes it fun, because if you knew everything, then it wouldn't be as exciting. The other thing is, sometimes, especially depending on your situation, if you were to have seen the the like the highest, how do I word this? If you were to see how everything happened for you, or even I'm looking at this caring connections card, so even if maybe it's, if you were to have gotten glimpses or seen fully who it was that you were quote unquote destined to be with, who you manifest that is this caring connection, very equally yoked romantic situation, if you were to be shown who this person was earlier, you might not choose to align with it, because at that point, from that limited perspective, you might have viewed it in a way where you're like, oh no, that's not what I want. I want this. And so it's understanding that there's a reason that you're not shown everything right away. So that's where trusting the process and surrendering and all of that really, really comes into play. Okay, and then we've got the sun, which is a beautiful new beginning. And so I feel like you have a beautiful new beginning in life in general. I feel like this feels quantum leapish to me. That's not a word. This feels like a quantum leap. This feels like, and this is a normal thing to happen on the spiritual journey, where you look back a few years, in the past, and you're like, my entire life is completely different. And I never would have guessed that this would have happened and this would have happened. And I would be doing this and I would be thinking of life in this way and I would be viewing things from this perspective and so on and so forth. And so, this is a new beginning, and I'm definitely getting romance. Um for a lot of you, if you are already in a connection that you want to take to that next level, then it's a new beginning in kind of that front, where it's a new beginning to take it a level deeper, if that makes sense. And then I do feel like there's definitely a new beginning in like career, finances, things like that. And then for some of you, it might even be a physical location. change or something like that. But I really do feel like this is kind of that feeling of starting over. And that's especially if you're, a little bit older, that's hard to do because it's like, well, if I start over, then I've got to start, from scratch and redo a bunch of things and so on and so forth. But you are coming at it from a different angle, from a different level of awareness and consciousness to where you are now able to do things in a very different way. And then once you commit to that and tap into that divine path and surrender to, your higher self's plan, more or less. And it's not really a plan, it's just surrendering to the higher self guidance, because the higher self has the ability to see things from a bird's eye perspective versus the human who's on the ground in the labyrinth. Um, when you surrender to that, things will actually start to manifest quicker and quicker. The higher you raise your vibration, the quicker and easier it is to manifest. Okay, I'm being called to go into this. So here we go. There is a lag in manifesting. So there are people who can instantly manifest. The thing is they are manifesting from a different vibration. And the reason for that is, if you think about it, if you were to manifest every single thought you attach to, I mean, think about, having a bad day and having, a real not nice thought about somebody who cut you off in traffic. If you were instantly manifesting every single thing that you were thinking from that vibration, it would be pure chaos in the world if everybody was doing that. And so that's why there's a lag, because of that. It's kind of like a safety thing. Um and so once you shift your vibration and you're coming more from a, 5D perspective, basically, or even higher is what I heard, that's when you can really tap into instant manifestation. And, it looks like magic or miracles from the outside looking in, but you're just more in alignment with your higher self, and, manifesting from the quantum realm versus manifesting from the ground level. Okay, on a whole tangent. I'm going to take a drink. Give me just a second. So let's see what else wants to come out about this whole situation. I'm getting quantum with it. Anything else? Oh, we were pulling another. Well, we'll see. Oh, there it is. The thinking woman. Okay, and it kind of landed. Shit. Okay. It kind of landed on the caring connections card. And so what I'm getting from this is that actually the person. Okay. So, regardless of, okay, so if you're the masculine in this situation, then the person that you are desiring or that you are in a relationship with, the feminine, is very intelligent, very intellectual. I'm hearing, uh, that's pretty crass. Just like that. Okay. I'm hearing the masculine say, I want to fuck your mind. So we're just going to leave it there. Anyways, that's for a select person or two. So if you are feminine, just know that your masculine is looking at you in that way. They really, really, like, they're just in love with your mind, in the way that you see the world and your perspective and so on and so forth. Um, if you're the masculine and that resonates, then you already know what I'm talking about. So there's definitely an intellectual compatibility between you and this person. And then I'm hearing intimidating. So that could be, if this is a situation where you are not in a relationship with this person or you're not in contact with this person, that might be part of where it's like you are deeply desiring, just getting lost in this feminine's mind, but it is also intimidating as hell. So just take that as extra confirmation if that is your story. Um, but that's really what I'm getting for that. Okay, then we've got the yin yang card. And if you've been watching these readings with me for a while, this is my divine counterpart card. So this could definitely be a divine counterpart situation. That is definitely a thread of energy that I'm picking up on. Um so that's just going to be extra confirmation, and my heart is just going crazy. So oh, yeah, there's a lot of heart chakra energy that you and your person are exchanging right now. Um, if you are not resonating with the counterpart thread of energy, the other thing that's really coming up right now, especially because we're talking about love and finances and career and all of these things, when we get ready to quantum shift, it's really important to balance the masculine and feminine energies within us, and then you bounce back and forth. And so when it's time to take that inspired divinely guided action, you tap into your masculine energy and then you take that action. When it's time to take a pause and sit back and receive, then you take that time and you sit back and you receive. Whether it's abundance, whether it's love or whatever it is. um so yeah. All right. Anyways, we've got contract. Okay. For some of you, if you are not in a relationship with this person, you or them or both of you could be in another committed relationship. That could be a factor. There could also be for some of you, there could be like new contracts that you're getting ready to sign. So maybe it's buying a house, maybe it's starting a business, hiring an attorney to have on retainer. Stuff like that. Signing business deals, et cetera, et cetera. This could also be indicating that there is a soul contract with this person. And yeah, I mean, if it's a counterpart situation, there's a soul contract. It is what it is. We have soul contracts with a lot of people, and then we have the free will choice to fulfill that contract or break that contract. And so, I feel like for some of you, there has been a soul contract that has been redefined in the ethers, in the spiritual realm. Um, and so that could be part of what's pulling you two together right now. Um, yep, and that's all I'm getting for that one. Okay. Okay. I was not expecting the yin yang card. Well, I'm not surprised because I was kind of feeling it, but I wasn't expecting it. Okay, we've got rest and rejuvenation, and that is definitely important to just, have as one of your priorities. Remember that you cannot fill from an empty cup. You cannot pour into somebody else if your own cup is empty. So self-care is very important. It's an act of self-love, and it's like the biggest act of self-love, because when you are filling up your own cup, then you have an abundance to pour from, and you can pour some of that into other people and other experiences, and it's from overflow, it's not from lack. And so just definitely make sure you're taking that time to rest and rejuvenate, and that that goes in alignment with the whole health talk that I went on at the beginning of this message. We have been all the places in this message. So yeah, definitely make sure you're amping up the self-care. And also I'm hearing spiritual hygiene. And so this is something, especially if you're on the counterpart journey, this is something that is of utmost importance. Um, for some of you, okay, I am picking up that for some of you, you have somebody in your orbit that may be sending you some nefarious spell work. Um, just and I'm just gonna leave it there. So just be heads up about that. It's not something to fear, it's something to be aware of so that you can protect yourself. And just remember you're a sovereign being with free will. Once you're aware of it, you can reject it, and you can transmute that energy for your highest good, and you can also return it to sender from a loving place. It's not from a place of like, oh, you're going to send me all this shit, then I'm going to send it back to you. That's don't do it from that place. Do it from the place of whatever is in the highest good for you to receive back is what you're going to get back, and kind of surrender it to the most high in whatever way you work with the divine, and just, hey, I'm aware of this. I don't accept this anymore. And whatever they're sending me is sent back if that's what's deemed necessary. Or or I'm transmuting that energy in shifting the energy. So the thing is, when people are sending you a shit ton of spell work, that's a lot of energy. And so you, as a conscious creator of your own reality, can say, oh, thank you for that energy. I'm going to transmute it and use it to level up. So thank you for the assistance. And, you can just do that. And, so, okay, Angel of Strength. So this is definitely an energy that is around you right now. I feel like you're really in a level up energetically. And so remember how energetically strong you are, and really tap into that strength energy. You are going through what you're going through right now for your highest good. It's all working out for you. And so just remember that. And then we've got the heart chakra, which is the fourth chakra, sits in the middle of the heart, or middle of the heart, sits in the middle of the chest. Um, and it's green. Um, and we were already kind of talking about the heart chakra. It has to do with love, it has to do with abundance, it has to do with manifestation, receiving. Um, it's blocked by grief and heartbreak. Like, oh, no way. Yeah. So I do feel like, because this broken heart card came out sideways, I do feel like there's a huge healing that is taking place in the heart chakra. And this is also that energy of pulling out of the mind and into the heart to follow that guidance to obtain the life of your dreams. Okay, we're gonna get into the tarot. So I thought we were going to get into the tarot, um, but I heard romance angels. So we're actually going to pull from this one to see what wants to come through, since this, took a turn into more of a love thread as well. I am, and it's interesting because this thread of energy has been prevalent for the collective lately. And there is definitely something that is interconnected with you and your romantic connection, and career, finances, stuff like that. And it's also part of just, having a balanced experience. If you are desiring a romantic connection, which I feel like you are, if you are here watching this, there's a connection there. A healthy, happy connection can uplevel you in so many ways in life. You deserve love. Give your relationship a chance. Okay. So, yeah, just remember, I mean, you deserve love. You are lovable. And that's part of this heart chakra healing that's taking place. And then I'm also feeling solar plexus stuff going on. The solar plexus sits at the belly button. The color is yellow. It has to do with willpower, confidence. Um, and it's blocked by worthiness wounds and things like that. I think, does the abandonment wound sit in the solar plexus? Think it might. Don't quote me on that. Um, so there may be some deep healing of some deep, deep core wounding that you're embarking on right now. And just, again, give yourself time, give yourself patience, give yourself grace, give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing things by going within and healing those things. You are doing something that a lot of people don't do. And so, just give yourself some grace with that. Um, and know that I'm proud of you for doing that. because it's some of the hardest work to go within and say, okay, I'm going to change how I show up in my life. And in order to do that, I have to face my own darkness. It's a lot. Especially if, you, like a lot of us on this journey, we took a lot of karmic shit on. We took on a lot of generational traumas and, curses or whatever you want to term it. It's just that, you know, it just repeats and repeats in each generation. And then it takes somebody to say, no, this shit stops with me. And that's powerful, powerful work. And with that, know that you do deserve love. If you have an abandonment wound, that is definitely something that will get in the way of this, because especially if it's a parent um that left or whatever, it's it fucks you up as a kid, because you automatically think there's something wrong with you, and then that turns into other stuff as we get older. And so it's understanding that that had nothing to do with you. And also on a soul level, you chose to experience that so that you could come in and break that cycle. And with that, you do deserve love. Um, everybody does. I just got all the chills. Give your relationship a chance. So I feel like there's definitely this element of take a chance on this. Allow yourself to take a chance, because you deserve it and it's here for you. I haven't seen that one yet. We've got let go of control issues. Allow this situation to unfold naturally. Oh shit. Okay, okay. That's going to be enough from that one. All right. We've got codependency. So addictions are affecting your romantic life. This doesn't have to actually be like hard substances or alcohol or anything like that. It can be, absolutely can be. This can also be addictions to other things. This can be addictions to limiting beliefs. This mindset of I don't deserve love. It can be an addiction to that shows up and affects your relationships. So I feel like you're actually really healing through with this, whatever this is. So again, huzzah, good job. Um, okay, hold on. We got like 15 cards out here. All right, we've got free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life, and it's right next to let go of control issues. So that's fun. But what this is really talking about is taking back your power from things that you used to give your power away to. So this can be limiting beliefs. This can be, vices, all the things. And this is taking back your power, pulling out of victim mentality. You're not just, this victim of circumstance. You were trained to believe that. You were trained to operate from that level because that's what we're trained in this society, and that's not true. And I feel like you already know that. And I feel like this is actually something that you are currently doing, is you are taking your power back. And this isn't like power in an ego way or power over others. This is your true power of being a conscious creator and knowing that you do deserve the life of your dreams, and you did come here to experience that. And then letting go of the control issues as far as how things need to be and how it needs to happen, and all of that. That's more of an ego thing that needs to feel in control to feel comfortable. But especially if this is a divine counterpart situation, that's just not going to work with this. It's something that you have to surrender and follow the guidance and allow to happen naturally. um okay, then we've got stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So yeah, and that really is reminding me of this appreciation card, that attitude of gratitude. And especially again, if you're on the divine counterpart journey, um, it's it is a challenging journey to be on. It just is. And that's where there's people who are like, "Well, I have a twin flame and it's, this and that." And then there's people who are actually on the journey who are like, "Dude, it is the hardest fucking thing." Um, just and you can't escape it. Like it's and then and it's for a purpose, and in this situation this is something where there is the potential for you and this person to actually solidify a union in the physical realm, and you know and that's beautiful. And so as hard and challenging as it is, it's also just as beautiful on the other side of when it actually manifests and it sustains in the physical. And this is the energy of it's ready to come in and anchor in and sustain. And if you want it, and so does your person. So okay, we've got express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. And then I'm being shown the action card. So if you're masculine, go get her. If you're a feminine, keep staying in that magnetic receptive energy, keep working on you, keep doing your thing, align with your, authentic self, etc., and allow it in. It's coming. It's coming. And yep. Okay. Ah, honey, there is definitely essential energy. All right. We've got honeymoon and attraction. So you could be fantasizing about a honeymoon with your person. That just came through. Just saying. Bora Bora's nice this time of year, I think. I don't know. Anyways, um, but it doesn't have to be anywhere exotic. That's just, anyways. Um, yeah. And if you're fantasizing about it and daydreaming about it and it feels really good to you, know that it's because it's possible for you. Okay. And then attraction. And there's definitely an attraction between you and this other person, and it's mutual. It is a mutual attraction. Okay. Ooh, just that intense. Alrighty dokie. Let's see what else wants to come out. So I'm gonna pull out of the like specific love thread. It's gonna come up. I already know that. But I'm gonna open it up more to just you in general and see what wants to come. What does the collective need to know? Is that reversed? Oh shit. Okay, hold on. This might take me a second. Um, the chariot. All right. Okay. In the page of dreams, it's time to take action and communicate. So again, that's going to vary. If you're a masculine on the counterpart journey and you've been getting the insight and the messages and everything else, it's time to communicate this. It's time to get in that chariot, take forward, determined action, and communicate. Um, if you are in a relationship with the person that you desire to build a life with, it's time to communicate that with your person. So again, it's just going to vary. We've got the Knight of Songs. It's time to communicate your deeper feelings. The Knight of Songs is the Knight of Cups that deals with emotions. So it's time to express that love, basically. And again, it doesn't matter if you're in communication or you're not, if you're in a relationship with this person or you're not. It's about um communicating those deeper desires with this person and allowing yourself to take that risk. And See how it lands. Okay. Is that reverse? Is that reverse? No. Ooh, we got some big energy. Oh, we've got the two of songs. This is equivalent to this caring connections card. This is harmonious romantic connection. It's emotional fulfillment, it's reciprocity, it's harmonious union. Then we've got some things. We've got the Emperor. This is divine masculine energy. This is about really being grounded in that action-oriented energy, but from a divinely led place. So this is about being in alignment and then taking action from that place. And the fact that that came out is just really confirmation that, you're really at this boss level in life. Um, and then we've got the Tower. Um, this is a major life change. It can be divine intervention, but for this, I feel like you've already gotten divine intervention. And this is really about, it's about a life change. So again, I'm picking up, it could be one life change for you, or it could be a lot. And for most of you, what I'm getting is this is a lot of life changes that are in the process of taking place. So relationship. It can be marriage. So if you're in a relationship with this person and you want to take it to that next level, then this could indicate marriage if that's what you desire. This can indicate the birth of a child. This can indicate the start of a business. There's a lot of people focus on the negative aspect of the Tower because it can indicate a divorce, a job loss, so on and so forth. I'm picking up for some of you that it might be one of these situations where a divorce or a breakup or something like that is a part of this, but it's for it's basically for the ability to anchor in this new connection that is more in alignment with who you are now. Um I'm not picking up a job loss. I just want to say that. But it can indicate that. But I'm not picking up that for this collective. I'm picking up like the start of a business. I'm getting this in more of the positive polarity of this card where it's, coming together and solidifying a new relationship. I just heard like winning the lottery or getting an inheritance or getting an unexpected lump sum of money, something like that. um, I think I said starting a business. And for some of you, this could be a house move as well. So there's some good towers here, some good life changes in your energy. We've got judgment. I'm being told to read that, which is interesting. It's Nine of Dreams. This is really this can be overthinking, and worry and anxiety, things like that. But what's interesting is the past few readings that I've done on this energy, it's been like really stuck in your head, and I'm not getting that from this energy. So there has been a shift that has happened within you where you're not as much in your head right now and overthinking everything. Maybe a little bit still, but I don't feel like it's as prevalent as it was even a couple days ago. For some of you, I'm hearing there was something that clicked within the past 24 hours that shifted your perspective. And just like that, I mean, that's literally how like things on the spiritual journey work. It can literally be 24 hours and your entire life changes because you have a revelation, you change your vibration, and now you're manifesting from a different perspective, from a different level of consciousness. And so this is where like that magic happens. And then we've got the moon. And that's exactly what I was picking up. I feel like something was illuminated to you. You had an aha moment of something. Something came into your awareness and you saw it differently. And now it's almost this energy of like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to take this chance. I'm ready to take this leap. Um, okay. I'm going to read it. I have to get the book. Give me just a second. Okay. So I grabbed the book and we are going to talk about judgment. So this is forgiveness, acknowledgement, and integration. Okay. I'm not getting any of that. Okay, so yeah, I feel like there's a level of forgiveness that is in this energy. I feel like there's a level of forgiving yourself from operating from the level of consciousness that you were operating from, and that's a huge part of this journey is of course forgiving other people who, caused pain in some way, and it's not really about forgiving and in allowing that person completely back in. It's forgiving the situation so it no longer has control over you. So there is the element of that, but I'm really feeling like self-forgiveness is really coming up right now, and allowing yourself to forgive yourself from doing certain things, saying certain things, not knowing certain things, and operating from a level of awareness that you had at the time. Confirmation. I do feel like there is a level of forgiveness for some of you, and this is more of a counterpart thread that I'm picking up on. And so there is a level of forgiveness that you will come to and feel when you communicate with this person. And I'm feeling just like a weight being lifted in that thread of energy. And then there's also integration, which is huge. This is about this is when we get into shadow work and things like that, and we heal some of those wounds, and then it's integrating that part of ourself so that it's no longer subconsciously running the show. Which is huge. Like that's massive, massive work. And this is the type of work that is so intense and so difficult at times. And just to process everything that's coming up and move through those emotions and let them move instead of suppressing or repressing, and and releasing, and then you integrate that part of the self so it's no longer controlling your life subconsciously, which is massive. So again, give yourself a pat on the back for that one. And then I'm being told to read the Nine of Dreams, which is despair. So this is when fears and anxiety, real or imagined, become the only reality you know, and it's harder than ever to see the world outside of that experience. I feel like you're actually confronting this though. And that's huge. That's huge. So again, give yourself a pat on the back for that. This is the type of work that isn't visible from the outside for a while. And then it's that type of work where all of a sudden people in your life are like, you're different. You're glowing differently. You're responding differently. You're responding versus reacting. And they might not use those words, but it's people around you are like, you're just something's different about you. And you're like, yeah, because I slayed some fucking demons. All right. Like, I'm in control of this here vessel and we're good. So just, again, give yourself a pat on the back for it. It will have a physical effect on your reality at some point. It's literally inevitable. And it is where it shifts into just a completely different way of experiencing life in general. So it's big. Um it really, really is. And then I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck. Okay. For our last card, we've got Angel of Love. So the Angel of Love is here for you as well. And this is, in a romantic sense, yes, but it's also in friendships and just love in life and for life. Um, so this is definitely prevalent in your energy. Um, which is beautiful. It's that kind of concept of like everything's possible from this energy. It's that wow. the hell is the term? Oh my gosh, it just completely left. Universal love, abundance. And I'm being shown in my mind 432 hertz. So maybe put on 432 hertz frequency and just allow yourself to kind of sit with that frequency. Even like I'll put it on and do the dishes. And it just kind of helps to shift your vibration into that of the universal love frequency. And that's where all things are possible when you're operating from that frequency. So, okay, with that, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. This turned into a way longer reading than I was expecting. So, I hope this resonates for you. I'm wishing you all the best. You're doing awesome. You really, really are. I can feel the shifts in the energy, and so you're really doing a lot of powerful, powerful inner work right now. And so just keep on going. You're on the brink of really seeing in your physical reality the evidence of all of this internal work that you've been doing. And so just keep going. You got this. And you're just on the brink of bringing in freaking awesomeness, greatness, the life of your dreams. That's literally what you're being guided to take action on right now. Is I feel like you've done a level of inner work that it's one of these, like, you've done enough of the inner work at this point that you can take some action in your life to bring in some of these things. And it's one of these things, like, the inner work doesn't really end. It's just it becomes more of an integrated process where you realize, like, oh, this is a wound coming up. Let's look at this. Let's integrate this. And what, previously took years to even look at, you can process and go a layer deeper in a day, maybe a week. But it's not as intense once you do some of this big healing and inner work. Then it just becomes kind of part of, like, oh, okay, and I'm being asked to let go of another thing and another one. And I was triggered by this situation. Let's look at that. Let's identify that. Let's feel what comes up for it. Let's process it. Let's integrate it, and let's move on. So it just becomes part of just kind of what you do. It's not, it's just kind of maintaining after a certain point. And I feel like you're really getting ready to shift into that way of being where it's just kind of, something that you're just like, oh, okay, here's this. Okay, here's that. So just know you're almost through the thick of it. And for some of you, you already are. So take that as it resonates. Okay. I am going to leave this here. Before I keep rambling, again, I can get lost in this energy, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it here before we're on here for, 3 hours. Well, I hope this resonated. If so, you can let me know in the comments below. I would love to talk to you about it. If you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free. And feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you, thank you. And I will see you on the next message.